Hey guys, today we'll be breaking down the Riverdale Season 3 trailer that was dropped a couple of days ago and what you might have missed in this trailer. So straight away we've got a shot of Archie in a suit wearing some handcuffs, possibly on the way to a hearing. As we know, at the end of Season 2 he was arrested in the school at the hands of Hiram Lodge. So the second shot we've got of Jughead taking a photo in what appears to be Betty's house. Obviously he's going back to his ways of Season 1 and putting the serpent life on hold for now. Obviously something's gone down, perhaps it's something to do with Chick if he's still alive, or is it what we'll see later in the trailer, something to do with Polly, and they're going to analyse everything that's going on there. So following this, there's a shot of Betty looking very worried, possibly in response to what we've just seen of Jughead taking a photograph. Obviously we're left questioning whether this is in fact the same scene, or perhaps this is a new scene entirely of Betty, given it is in the same house, and it was edited this way. So the next shot we've got Archie and Veronica in bed. Archie appears to be lost in thought, possibly thinking about how this is all going to work out between the two of them, given Hiram is trying to get him in prison. The producers have teased that they may face some issues in this season and may not make it through, so we'll have to see what happens there. Next up we've got Hiram Lodge looking very cool. It's unclear where he is here, but possibly meeting up with some people to sort out a situation as we used to now. Or is he meeting up with his gang that were around the table at the end of Season 2, which included Penny? Next up we've got a shot of Archie and Veronica. It looks to be by a lake. As we've been teased in this season by the producers, we may experience some conflicts between the pair, possibly due to the fact that Hiram is sending Archie to prison and he might not be comfortable seeing his daughter and hanging around in their apartment anymore. It may be that Veronica finds a new love interest to get back at Archie. As we know in the comics, Reggie and Veronica had a bit of a thing, so we might see this play in the show. Between Veronica and her dad Hiram, she's explaining that her and Archie are endgame, possibly to tell Hiram to back off of Archie because it's putting such a strain on their relationship. Next up we've got a shot of Archie and the gang in the classic Archie comics car. Looks to be like they may be going to their lake trip, which we see later on in the trailer. Next up we get a Betty and Jughead make-out session by the fire. To me this all appears to be in the same place, so them driving to the lake and them making out at the campfire at the lake. It's interesting here because we can see Betty and Jughead are much happier than what is going on between Archie and Veronica, and I think that'll be the main premise of this season. Next up we've got Cheryl running in or out of a warehouse with Tony, and appears to be another individual I can't identify. If we look closely we can see Jingle Jangle to the right. Perhaps this is what her plot is going to be for Season 3, trying to shut down this operation or gaining more intel on what is going on. Next up we've got a shot of Veronica looking very dressed up, possibly just before her speakeasy she's going to give. Here we've got a shot of Archie, which clearly shows a serpent tattoo. With all things considered, I think that he is probably doing this for protection, going to prison, in which he's going to face some ghoulies he put in there. Following this, we've got a quick shot of Betty and Jughead at school, probably doing some digging on a case. Next up, we've got a shot of FP and Alice in bed together. It appears to be the same bed that Betty and Jughead were in. Also, we get the clear shot of the serpent tattoo. We also get a shot of FP's chest, which appears to be some kind of wound. It's also left to question how this will affect Jughead and Betty's relationship. If they are to find out what is going on, will this put an end to the Bughead relationship? Only time will tell. However, it may make things a bit complicated, given they will technically be related if they were to take it further. It's also been made apparent that their relationship is going to come to the light much more in Season 3. Moving on, we've got a quick glimpse of Cheryl talking to someone in Pops, it looks like. Might be about the Ghoulies and the Jingle Jangle. Here we've got a shot of them all diving into the water, possibly arrived where they were driving. Veronica, Cheryl and Josie giving a cheerleading performance, continuing their River Vixen duties. Next up we get a shot of Archie being escorted to his cell. I think he will meet someone that's going to have some significance to the whole story, so I think that'll be an interesting point. Next up we get a quick shot of Tony. And we get a Moose and Kevin makeout session. Here it appears to be much more PDA than we're used to from previous seasons, and I think Moose is going to be a bit less invested than Kevin will be, and a bit reluctant to let everyone know what is going on. Next up, we get a shot of Jughead in the sewers. It looks to be the same one that we saw in season 2 of where the body was. Perhaps he's found something more or another body altogether. Next up, we got a bit of police brutality. Always Archie acting up, perhaps getting into a scrap with Ghoulie members in the yard. Here we've got everyone dressed up, possibly before a hearing of some kind, or perhaps it's to do with Veronica's speakeasy. Archie and Jughead are holding back Fred from Hiram Lodge, obviously very angry about everything that's going on with his son. The next few shots just completely escalate. Here we've got some drawings, possibly Betty doing some research or something she's found in Polly's bag. This is to do with the farm and what she may now worship, as we see a bit later on. Here we've got a very drugged up looking Betty, or has she been struck down from someone behind? As we know, Polly is exposing Alice to what she believes in from the farm, and perhaps Betty is kind of being forced into everything that's happening here. So here we've got a shot of a tree looking thing. I'm not sure how to go about explaining this, but it might be something that Polly and now Alice worship, but we will learn later what this symbolises. Next up, we've got a worrying shot of the twins, which looks to be Polly and Alice holding them over some kind of fire. I think it will be interesting to see everything that happens with Polly's character development in this season. As we know, she was very worried about Chick in season 2 and went off to the farm for protection. She obviously met someone there that was very into all of this. Next up, we've got a shot of Archie throwing a bottle from within his cell. Firstly, I questioned how he got a bottle in there, then I thought perhaps it was a sly gift from Hiram Lodge. As we know, he was a drinker, as we've seen in previous seasons. So perhaps this was a sly little dig from Hiram. Compliments of the Lodge house. Finally, we've got a shot of which appears to be a ritual that's gone on, possibly, as I said, linked to the twins held over the fire. Appears to be 2 people on the ground and Jughead screaming, "Help, somebody help." I think it's very interesting that Jughead is screaming this way. This may be that the 2 people are very close to him, perhaps fellow serpents or people he recognises from school, as he is no stranger to murder and bodies.